so much. Yes, I would like to say thank you for the opportunity this evening to present to you all the health tip. So today I will be discussing the COVID vaccines and the recommendations around that. So with COVID vaccine or with any vaccines, it's considered preventative care. And preventative care is very important when it comes to eradicating diseases. Historically, vaccines have helped eradicate smallpox, measles, and so many other things like polio. And so it's very important to make sure that you get vaccinated and stay up to date with the recommendations that are recommended. So I'm here to encourage everyone to make sure you stay up to date on all of your vaccinations, whether it's the flu vaccine that you should get annually, or whether it's the Tdap vaccine that you should get about every 5 to 10 years, or even the pneumococcal or pneumonia vaccine that should be recommended based on your age or based on a specific disease state that you may have. But this evening, I would like to mainly focus on the COVID vaccines and their recommendations. So we all know that there's 3 vaccines that are currently available. So we have the Pfizer vaccine. And with the Pfizer vaccine, you have a 2-dose series, which is considered the primary series. So you will get 1 dose, and then about 3 to 8 weeks later, you will get a second dose. And then that's considered the primary series, unless you have an immunocompromised condition. So immunocompromised is just means that you have a weakened immune system. And so typically your doctor would diagnose you with something like maybe cancer, or you may be on like chronic steroids or something that may weaken your immune system. So those patients, you will have to get a 3rd dose 4 weeks after your 2nd dose. And so once you complete the primary series, then it is recommended to get a booster 8 months after you complete the primary series. And that's for the Pfizer vaccine. And so the Pfizer vaccine is recommended for people aged 5 years and older. Okay, and then we have the Moderna vaccine. The Moderna is recommended for people 18 years and older. And with the primary series, it's very similar. It's also a 2-dose series, but it's different. You get 1 dose, and then 4 to 8 weeks later, it's recommended to get the 2nd dose. And then the same thing, if you have an immunocompromised condition, it's recommended to get a 3rd dose 4 weeks after the 2nd dose. And then you have the booster that's recommended 8 months after you complete the primary series. All right, and then we have the Johnson & Johnson. So the Johnson & Johnson is different. It's not an mRNA vaccine. And so right now it's only recommended for patients if they do not want to get an mRNA vaccine, which is the Pfizer and Moderna. So the Johnson & Johnson, the primary series is just 1 dose is all that you would get. And then 8 months later is recommended to get right now it's recommended to go back to Moderna or Pfizer. So Johnson & Johnson, it has been pulled off the shelves quite a bit because there has been an increased risk of clotting with getting the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So that's why right now is really only recommended for those patients that do not want to get a Pfizer or Moderna vaccination. And so those are the vaccines currently available. But other things to think about too, when it's dealing with COVID or any virus or illness, other lifestyle changes that you can make is making sure that you stay hydrated, especially in this Texas heat. The sun can definitely dehydrate you. So definitely recommended to make sure you stay hydrated. And the number 1 thing with that is drinking water. I know that we have other beverages of preference, but I recommend strictly water. That's the best thing for you. Okay, and then we have vitamins, making sure that you take your vitamins, or making sure that like when it comes to vitamin D, so vitamin D, you can get that from the sun. And so if you want to go out in the Texas sun and get you some vitamin D, you're welcome to do that. And you can also get it from different foods that you can eat as well. And so the recommendations for vitamin D is that if you are up to age 70, it's recommended to get 600 units of vitamin D. And then for men and women over the age of 70, it's recommended to get about 800 units of vitamin D. And so along with vitamin D. Calcium is also recommended. And so with calcium, you can also get it from the diet. But if you want to take a supplement, if you're up to the age of 50, it's recommended to get 1,000 milligrams a day. And then 51 to 70 years old for males is still 1,000 milligrams a day. Then for females, from the age of 51 to 70, it goes up to 1,200 milligrams per day. And if you're over the age of 70, it's still 1,200 milligrams per day for males and females. And so when it comes to COVID, those are the things that will help your immune system stay well, so that if you do get the virus, you won't get the most serious of the virus. And so those are the recommendations that I have for you today. Thank you.
Dr. Robertson, thank you so much for taking time to share with us. And we hope that we will take the information and use it to the best of our ability and share with others. Amen.